Hello, all you HAWT listeners. Welcome to episode 19 of Husband and Wife Talks. This episode, Marta and I will be discussing our trip to Maryland and Pennsylvania, one for a wedding and one for a sneaky surprise birthday party that Marta planned without giving it away. It was very shocking on my part. So stay tuned. And also, we're going to be actually mentioning some Netflix shows that we recommend. So stay tuned for this episode. We think you'll enjoy it.
Hi, Adam.
Whoa, hey Marta, how's it going?
Great.
You want to continue that since you wanted to start it off? You keep rolling. You want to do the introductions?
Sure. Welcome to the HAWT Podcast, episode 19.
Uh-huh.
You'll enjoy it. Keep listening. Thank you.
This is not an introduction. This is the actual podcast, so this is not the beginning part, so sure, you got to keep rolling with
this is also an introduction within the actual podcast. You'll have the separate introduction, which they've already heard, and now they'll hear this.
Well, meta.
Anyway.
We haven't actually recorded it inside the studios. We do it after the fact.
Oh, no, we gave away our trick. Oh, well. So, I guess we'll jump right into this past weekend. Shall we?
What did we do?
It was fun. We flew to Maryland.
Why you sound so robotic? Come on, be loosey-goosey.
I'm loosey-goosey. We flew to Maryland on a jet plane. Actually, it was a Boeing, probably 747. Yeah. And then we landed.
Okay, now you're going too much.
Too loosey-goosey. Okay,
you cranked the knob all the way up. Now you got to overcorrect back to the middle.
Overcorrect. Can you tell he's an aerospace engineer?
You're used to being second chair, but now you're just flying all over the place, interrupting me.
I'm first chair pilot of the show.
You realize when we interrupt each other, it doesn't sound good for our audio listeners that are listening to right now in their ear holes. So just keep that in mind when you want to interrupt me. You
mean just their ears? You don't have to say ear holes.
Of course I do.
You don't say nostril holes. You don't say eye holes.
Well, you don't have holes in your eyes.
I'm not going to give more
examples. You do have pupils. It does let in light through pupils. That's why they can do that surgery where it's like a thin needle that just comes towards your eye.
Oh, okay.
And you don't feel a thing, but it's just really strange. And a little scary, if you ask me. So, yeah, as Marta was eloquently, putting, we flew out to Maryland this weekend, visited the fam. But mainly for a wedding, one of my friend's weddings from high school. She had it up in Pennsylvania, one of the colleges in the area.
Lehigh University.
Lehigh Valley. Was it Lehigh Valley University or just Lehigh?
No, it's Lehigh University, but the area is called Lehigh Valley.
I don't know anything, apparently. So
that's why I'm here.
Drove all through Pennsylvania. Marta's favorite. She just loves Pennsylvania so much. Right? Right?
It's a state.
Your parents were nice enough to let us use their car as a rental car, basically, to drive up for the wedding.
Mom.
So they had it in the university. If you've never been to Lehigh University, it's situated on a hill, or a lot of hills. So there's a lot of walking uphill, even just in the main campus area. So they had it in a chapel. Very beautiful chapel. I liked it a lot. Not sure if there was a bathroom in the chapel, which we sort of course, as we walked in, Marta and I, of course, always have to use the restroom.
Well, we drove for 2.5 hours and didn't stop to use the bathroom. And did drink some water.
We planned it out to get there right at the time we needed to, so no
stops
were
so I was expecting
into the road trip.
When I was thinking of our wedding, how the church, right by the church, there was a separate little building that had the bathrooms and stuff. Although I guess we had time to explore and find one, but we just got there and then didn't feel like leaving. But yeah, had to hold the good old bladder. But yeah, anyway, it was pretty. I liked the ceremony.
It was well done. It was quick and snappy compared to our drawn out one that we had, which I think we mentioned before. It seems like more and more the ceremonies are quicker and quicker. Try to get it done. Bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
And roll on to the fun part, the reception.
The party, which if you watch Friends, Monica tells Chandler, because he keeps referring to their wedding as a party, and he says...
Realistically, it actually is.
I know. Well, not really. The ceremony is not. The reception is a big party. But then I remember Chandler's like, I don't want to spend all this money on a party. And then Monica's like, if you call it a party one more time, you might not be invited. Which is like, really? He's going to be your husband, so he has to be invited.
That's what makes it funny, babe. It's a show.
Gotcha. And I didn't get the humor, so...
You don't get the humor?
No, I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
So, yeah, the ceremony was nice. Then we had some time in between, so then we went to our hotel, drop off the bags.
Surprisingly cold, which I think I caught a sickness from walking around just in like a suit jacket, not really bundled up as much.
Yeah, I was in the 50s, I think, which is like very hot compared to what Denver was, because this weekend Denver was in the 20s and snowing. So 50-degree weather felt really cold at that time. At the time, but it was warm compared to where we are used to / would have been that weekend.
From where we are currently living.
That's right. Alrighty.
But yeah, we stopped at the hotel, dropped off some stuff.
Only took us 500 years to check in to the hotel.
Yeah, I don't know what was
So
going on.
we are now currently in our 520s year of age, because it took 500 years
520s.
Yeah, like instead of our 20s, we're our 520s. 520 years old.
Definitely get humor.
What'd you say? You definitely get humor?
Yeah, call back to when you were talking about the Monica joke. Oh my goodness. Follow me here, babe.
I thought it was called a throwback, not a callback. I thought callback was like when you're in a play and they call you back, or a movie and they call you back for more auditions.
Yeah, that's that, but you can also say like a callback like to what was previously said, or things of that nature. Throwback is more of just reminiscing.
Throwback Thursday. Well, it's not Thursday, but
get back on track. So they went through like the university, which was nice. So they were holding basically their reception with a cocktail hour while they're taking pictures. You're making me laugh with your goofy faces. What? I guess while they were taking pictures with the bridal party and everything, you have a cocktail hour for like an hour. So they had the little lobby of this place, and then we went up for the reception for 4 hours up in this like beautiful. I was gonna say ballroom. Do you call it a ballroom?
I would call it a ballroom.
No, room for balls.
A room for balls?
Yeah, like balls, like dance balls. Ballroom.
But you sounded confused, and then okay, yeah, it was a ballroom. That's what it was.
People are children, and I started giggling myself. So
roll mature, Adam. Roll mature.
But yeah, it overlooked all of Lehigh Valley, which was very pretty. Because it's the San Francisco of Pennsylvania.
I don't know where you got that.
Well, just because it's very hilly. That's all.
San Francisco is a huge city. Lehigh Valley is not a huge city. San Francisco is very hilly and it's by water. Lehigh is not.
Well, it's hilly. That's the one connection, and it has the same type of houses. They're like townhouses connected to one another. Don't believe me?
Everyone has their own opinion. That's
Don't
fine.
believe me? Ask the dishes.
Don't believe me? Just watch. That is a segue to the next bit, which is still talking about the wedding.
I don't know what's happening right now. But yeah, it was a fun time. Did you have a good time? Dancing?
Yeah.
Got to eat some pasta and steak. I haven't had pasta in forever. So I feel like my stomach was feeling it afterwards. Just because I've been eating semi-healthy, as that's there. But
one interesting thing to note about dinner, it was a buffet, so everything was served buffet style, like you just put the food on your plate and move on, except for the mashed potatoes were served in like one of those just big rectangular dishes, but then they would scoop it into a martini glass, which was so fancy but random because nothing else had that fancy presentation. So I was like, did the couple think of this? Did the dining people or the caterer person just be like, we'll add an extra touch with our martini glasses? So it was interesting. Felt very fancy to eat. But every time I picked the glass up, I wanted to drink it because my instinct was that it was a drink. So then I had to snap into the mashed potato eating mood, and it was interesting. They were good. They were fine.
Yeah, that was good food.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of the desserts because we were full from eating our dinner.
I had cake.
Danced around and drank. It was a fun time.
Did you try the cake?
Did I try? I tried a little bit of it. I mostly had the sugar cookie on top instead of the
I didn't
cake.
try the sugar cookie. Ooh,
Sugar cookie was pretty good. The cake was vanilla with raspberry. If anybody wants to picture that and imagine what it tastes like.
Yeah, sorry you couldn't have any.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Oh, what was cool though, their cake topper was really cool. You remember that? Where they had like, whoa, don't bang your head into the microphone. Goodness, I know you're tired, I guess, or woozy. Did you drink too much before this?
I'm drinking sparkling water, so I'm okay.
You're drunk.
That is not a funny joke. I'm not.
Okay. But yeah, they had a cake topper, which was like 3D modeled from their like faces and body, I guess. So it looked really realistic. It looked just like them. Well, unless you got up really close because you can't get that crazy of detail. But from a semi, I don't know, like a few steps away, it looks like them. So that was a really cool touch. I've never seen that before. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I liked the cake and the cake topper. They were well done.
And you like the parting gifts as well.
Yeah, I liked the parting gifts. I guess we're jumping all the way to the end.
Is there anything else you want to touch on?
No. I mean, we ate, we drank, we danced, we talked. That's pretty much a wedding for you.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the parting gifts. They were little succulents. So the groom made these probably like 2 by 2 or 3 by 3 inch little squares out of concrete. And then inside of them, they put some dirt and then little different succulent cactus type plants. So I thought they were cute.
No, did she ever?
Yeah, I grabbed one despite my husband claiming that we do not need any.
Well,
wrong. We need a pet cactus or a pet succulent. That's for sure.
Folks, we're flying back on a flight in the next day, and I don't think there's room for plants in our suitcase.
There's always room for plants.
And also, you have to realize it's a big cement block. This is what I keep.
It was not big. It was 2 inches, not even 3, probably 2.5.
I would still think they would look at that and say, "You can't take this on. You can do you could hurt somebody with this.
You could hurt people with a lot of things on planes. You could choke someone with a scarf. People could.
Whoa, it just got dark. Goodness.
Well, no, I mean, if you're gonna start banning things that could do damage on a plane, is my 4-ounce shampoo really the problem there?
That's true. I don't understand that.
I mean, people are crazy, and people that want to do harm can do harm regardless of what equipment or materials they have. So I don't think that concrete block, I don't think they would have taken it because I've never seen that you can't bring concrete on an airplane.
Well, sorry, but now your parents have 2, so
yeah,
they're the lucky ones.
So we grabbed 2, and then the bridal party / bride had their bouquets out, and they were letting anybody who wanted them take some, and I thought they were really pretty, and they were nice fall colors.
But just imagine now there's the small cement blocks, but just multiply it by enough to hold a bouquet, and that thing was heavy.
Oh yeah, because the centerpieces were in also cement blocks.
Yeah.
But I was talking about the bouquet itself.
The bouquet that you took?
Yeah, because some people were trying to snag the bouquet with the cement block, and then they realized they were not strong enough to lift that. But I grabbed 2 bouquets.
Yeah, they were pretty bouquets.
Because I thought they were pretty, and then I put them in water overnight, like Saturday night before we went back to my parents' house so that they wouldn't die totally.
In our hotel room, just using random pots and pans to keep them watered.
Yep.
But they were really pretty. I actually never knew that about weddings, that a lot of times people just want to give away their centerpieces or bouquets, and they're just like, just take it.
Yeah, the only reason we didn't do that or couldn't do that at our wedding was because we rented the actual vases that the bouquets, well, not the bouquets, but that the centerpieces came in, so we couldn't give away the centerpieces.
I'm learning something new about our wedding, apparently. I didn't know that.
I've told you this before.
You did?
Yeah.
I
told you this at the wedding. I was like, yeah, we could have given our flowers away, but people couldn't take the actual container because we rented that from the florist.
Sorry, I forgot that you told me during our wedding day.
No, at this wedding this weekend. 4
Oh,
days
you
ago.
did? Wow. I'm a crappy listener sometimes, apparently.
Yep. I was just listening to something that said we have one mouth and two ears, and ears are for listening. So some of us have some room for improvement.
Where's that from?
I don't remember.
Monk, maybe?
Actually, I think so. I think it was from Monk. Oh, I love that show so much. Quick segment of favorite show ever. It's Monk. Okay, let's move on.
Okay. I don't want to get into that topic, which we probably unpack for days. But yeah.
The next part.
The next day, Marta being sneaky.
Wait, can I do it?
Go ahead, babe. Talk away. Your favorite thing.
Okay. Well, no, I just felt like for this particular day and activities, I would be suited to explain. So, let's see. This past Sunday was approximately this Sunday was 3 weeks after your birthday. So, let's flash back to our wedding and right after, back in May. My mom was talking about how much fun it was to have all the wedding festivities and have family together and throw parties and just host people, and she really likes that. And right after the wedding, she's like, I'm so sad because we don't have anything to look forward to now. The wedding's done and we're moving, so we didn't really have any big parties planned or anything like that. So then my mom mentioned she knew we were flying in for the wedding that weekend, and she mentioned, oh, what if we did a birthday party for Adam, like a belated birthday party? And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And then she was like, oh, what if we do a surprise? We were trying to figure out if a surprise party would work. And I was like, oh, yeah, we could swing that, even though I've been to surprise parties. I think I've only been to my own, which sounds kind of weird. 2 surprise parties thrown for me. I've never thrown one for anyone else. Sorry, I'm not that good at keeping secrets. But anyway, so when we were booking our flights for this wedding, we flew in Friday night, and then Sunday was going to be the surprise party day. But the only issue was when I was looking at flights, I feel like it would have made sense for us to fly out maybe early afternoon, so that we would have more time when we get back to our apartment in Colorado and not have to feel rushed and everything. But I was worried, like, oh, what if, I find this evening flight or nighttime flight, and Adam's like, oh, why are we leaving so late? But it ended up being the cheaper flight anyway. So I remember we were sitting in my parents' patio or sunroom, and I was looking at flights on the Southwest app and talking to my mom because he had gone to the bathroom or something. And you came back, and I was like, hey, how does this 9 p.m. flight on Sunday sound? And you were like, that's fine. I was like, oh, yeah, by the way, it's the cheapest one, so, don't worry about that. And you're like, okay. I was like, whew, I was so nervous, but he didn't even bat an eye. And then after that, it was just...
Well, you should know, a lot of times I just go with the flow.
Yeah, because I'm more of the planning type. But anyway, so then I was working with my mom and your mom to try to figure out... Because your mom
sneaky.
was flying up from Florida for it, and some of your family that was more close came. But it was hard because my mom would have to ask me questions about the timing and logistics and all of that. And then your mom would text me about things too. And on my phone, I don't have, if I get a text, the actual message doesn't show up. It just says Adam and then iMessage or mom or mama iMessage or whatever. So if someone is being a little nosy, they can't necessarily see my text, which is why I have it. And in this scenario, it was very helpful because I had my phone out on the counter one morning, and your mom texted me, and you're like, oh, why isn't mom texting you? And I was like, I'm wondering how we're doing. And she literally texted me asking about what color or what you would prefer for your wedding or your birthday present. I was like, really? You gotta text me at 7:30 a.m. when I'm getting ready. I mean, it wasn't anything against her, but I was just worried that you would have seen it. But you didn't. But then you were like, oh, getting all nosy. But anyway, so then... Big backstory, but that's what we were doing on Sunday, but you didn't know. It was so hard not to mention anything to you. Especially...
Yeah, a lot of times you're not the best at keeping secrets.
Yeah, and especially I remember at the end of the night at the wedding on Saturday night before we ended up going home, we were talking to the bride, and obviously she was your friend from high school, so she was asking what our plans are on Sunday, and she asked if you're going to see any of your family while we were there. And I almost wanted to be like, yeah, like nod to her, but then you'd be like, what? No. But yeah, moments like that where I wanted to say, because I'm out of the blue, I'm not just going to be like, hey, Adam, guess what we're doing on Sunday? But yeah. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say, but I forgot. Oh, I remember. Back to the planning, I remembered that originally I thought, since the wedding was, quote unquote, only 2.5 hours from my parents' house, I thought, oh, I don't want to pay for a hotel. We can just drive back to my parents' house at 10 o'clock at night, 2.5 hours, easy peasy. Would have been pretty difficult because I'm not a night person. But I'm also glad we didn't, because then there would have had to be a good excuse for me to get you out of the house in the morning so my mom could decorate and prep and stuff.
Just say you wanted to go to a driving range or mini golf. I'm sure I've been jumping at the chance.
But the problem was it had to be something was independent of the weather. Like if it was something outside and it was cold or rainy, you could be like, I don't want to do that. And then I'd be like, we need to go. And then you'd be like, what? And
we need to go.
So it was very easy to get us there on time because I just said, oh, my mom invited my uncle, aunt, and cousins, so they're going to be there, and we're meeting them at 1.
It should have been my first clue when Marta wanted to change to, like, stay the night at this. I don't even think you asked me, because I thought we were initially just going to drive back late at night, and then all of a sudden it shifted, and you said, oh, no, I just decided to book the hotel room. That should have been my first instinct, because a lot of times...
Instinct about what, though?
When you get something in your head of like, oh, I want to do this, I think we can do this, I'm like... and I guess money is involved, and you're sometimes frugal when it comes to that stuff. I was shocked when you wanted to change it to spend the night there. Honestly, I thought you were ready. I thought you were just going to want to book a home after the fact.
Yeah. Although looking back, I mean, it was nice to sleep because, I mean, neither of us were not in a condition to drive, to put it nicely. Like, we were both feeling fine and not, intoxicated or drink too much.
Make sure to get 1 glass of wine every hour with water in between.
Honestly, it was less. I think I only drank 2 drinks the whole time, or like 2.5 over the span of 5 hours.
Yeah, you never finished your last cider.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even think you touched it. It was still like full.
It was a really tall glass. I drank maybe 4 sips. But yeah, I mean, I could have driven back, or if we had, split, you drive part of it, I do. But for the plan, it just worked out better. I'm like proud of myself that I didn't let it slip. Because on the way, like 4 minutes from my parents' house, there was a car in front of us that was your mom's exact car. And you were like, oh, did my mom, I think you said, oh, was my mom in Maryland? Did she move here? And I was like, she is in Maryland. She's about a mile away. But I couldn't say that. So I just had all these internal conversations in my head. It was so difficult. And then, like, when I was talking to friends in the Maryland area, when I mentioned to some people that I was coming, not some, like 1 or 2 people, but I didn't want to be like, because usually when I'm in the area, I like to meet up with people that I haven't seen in a while, and I didn't want to say, oh, yeah, we're throwing this surprise for Adam, because I know the more people I tell, and it's just easier for things to slip out, so I tried to
But realistically, who do the people you would
tell?
I
don't know, like my friend Katie, if I mentioned, I think I did after the fact. I don't know if I mentioned it before. But then, I don't know, if she had like texted you and been like, happy belated birthday, and you'd be like, what the heck? And then you got, I don't know. I just don't.
When has Katie ever texted me in her life?
Katie, text Adam right now as you're listening to this.
I don't think she has my number.
I was about to recite it.
Yeah, do not do that.
That's like number 1 no.
No, at all. You have to edit it out with a bunch of cow sounds.
Moo, moo, moo.
Yeah.
Moo, moo, moo. Moo, moo, moo. 7.
I'll let you finish, I guess.
I gave them 1 digit. Oh, but by the way, 7 is not the last digit. It's any of the other digits. So... you have very minimal chances of guessing it.
I think my laugh gave it away, though.
Your laugh. You're right, folks. Adam's laugh gave away his entire phone number.
Well, at least the last digit, I guess.
It's a 10. The last digit's a 10.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You just gave away 2 numbers now.
It's a joke. Anyway, anything else about the week? Oh, what did you think? What were your impressions of
I just want to let
the
everybody
day?
know, if you ever need to know how to react to a surprise party, don't ask me because I have no idea.
Adam opened the door, or his mom opened the door, and he just goes, "Oh, hi, Mom."
I don't know, I'm the type of person where I don't like a lot of the attention. I've never been that type of person.
We're opposites in that way.
I mean, I feel like I like, how do I put this, like, attention through, like, I don't want to say like a mirror or something, but it's kind of like why I enjoy, like, podcasting, because you can put something out there, but you're not directly talking to somebody. There's not, like, a direct focus on you, or, like, putting out a video where you're doing something, but people are watching you secondary. It's not, like, one-to-one type deal.
Not direct contact.
Yeah, exactly. So
Gotcha.
I felt very uncomfortable for the first, like, half hour or hour. Mind you, I had to use the restroom prior to.
That was really fun. You were like, I really have to go to the bathroom. I really have to go to the bathroom. The last 30 minutes. And I was just, like, laughing. And you're like, what's so funny? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I have to pee, too. So it's just funny. You're like, I'm not going to say hi to anyone. I'm just going to run.
Yeah, because
like,
I thought it was just your uncle. I was like, I need to just run upstairs.
You open the door, or your mom opens the door, and there's, like, 15 of your family members and, like, 8 of mine.
Being startled by everybody.
Oh, gosh. You Peter done the other thing in your pants. I can't even. That would just be horrible. Oh, hi, Mom. I just spilled water on myself, but I'm not holding any water, so you figure out what happened.
You deduce what happened. But yeah, I don't know. I was, like, really shocked. I didn't know what to say. Like, I don't know what to say in those moments. Like, yay, people are here, but then now I'm, like, the center of people, like, saying happy birthday to me.
That's the best.
That's not the best. I just feel uncomfortable sometimes because I don't know how to react. I don't know. I've never been the type of person that likes the attention, especially, like, when you sung happy birthday to me when I'm 25 years old with a 2 and a 5 on the cake that was made, which, shout out to your mom. She made tiramisu and it was delicious as always. Your parents are awesome. So, but yeah, I just don't know how to react. Like, you sung happy birthday and I'm sitting there, like, uncomfortable, getting sweaty because I don't like this. And I'm, like, shaking my head and, like, looking because I don't know where to look. I'm, like, looking in different directions. I was like, please end already.
Well, as
not
long
the party,
as...
but the song. I didn't want people to leave because I like hanging out with my family. That's why it got better after, like, the first 30 minutes, because then they started talking amongst themselves, so I could just either talk one-on-one or just, like, listen to their conversations, and just be in the moment type deal instead of being like, I don't like everybody looking at me.
Well, I hope you liked it and had fun and can look back on it and be like, that was fun.
Your initial idea to begin with, or was it your mom's?
I think it might have been my mom's. But she, like, asked me what I thought because she was like, you know Adam better than I do, obviously, and I don't want to do it if you wouldn't like it. And I realized that I've never, well, not that I could say I threw this surprise party for you. I feel like it was more my parents since they hosted it and prepped everything. But I still felt like it would have been nice, especially since we were in the area and we weren't going to have a chance to meet up with, or you weren't going to have a chance to meet up with your family. But that was another thing I was worried about. Like, if you had mentioned, since the wedding was in PA.
What if I did something like, oh, I plan to meet up with some people from Jersey?
That's what I was worried about. That's why we had to have a plan that my parents invited my family over. Because if it was just like you and me hanging out with my parents.
Oh, my friend's just going to come pick me up. You can just hang out with your uncle. That was the joke that I made, though, that I knew I should have known. Again, the clue number 2 that something was off was when your uncle was there, like, at the point of time, like, before we made it there. He was early. He was early to whatever was scheduled this time of meet. And I was, like, really shocked that he was there because going there, I was like, Rustic, is never going to make it there on time. He's going to be maybe 30 to an hour, minute.
You know us
late.
Ukrainians so well. You invite us over for 1, expect us by 1:45 2. Like, I remember as a kid, so many times we would be invited somewhere. I mean, probably my family, but we would be invited to be somewhere at 1 and like 12:30, 12:45. We're still getting ready. And we're not going somewhere only 15 or 30 minutes away. It's like an hour, maybe more.
So you're the type of person that says, "Oh, how far away are you?" And you say, "I'm only 10 minutes away," but you're still getting ready in your house as you're about to go.
No, I mean, it's just a known thing. But it's funny because sometimes my mom or I will be like, "Oh, why are people late? Like, it's just so rude." And then I think to every other time where we have a birthday or a holiday or we go to church or anything that we are not there on time. So it's a culture thing. Yeah.
Where my family is complete opposite, where if you tell them 1 o'clock, they'll be there by 12:30. Well, actually, what happened, that's what my mom was telling me. They were supposed to get to your parents' house by 12:30, and they ended up getting there by 12:10, and they just sat out in the car for like the first 8 minutes.
That's what they did for like the bridal shower or something. They just all sat outside, and I think my mom looked out the window, and she's like, Adam's family's already here. I was like, say what? It's like 30 minutes early, people! That is foreign to me.
Yeah. So that's why we had the joke for our wedding is put the invitation for Ukrainians earlier so they get on time, and then for my family, the Italians, later so they get on time. They'll be there on time. And then for all the normal people, just send them normal times.
That would have been so much work, though, printing 3 sets of invitations.
That's why it's a joke, baby. Mm-hmm. It's a funny joke. Everybody laughed. They're listening right now, and they're giggling.
Giggling at that weird voice.
Exactly.
So, that was the weekend. Oh, yeah. Sunday night was fun.
It wasn't.
We landed, and it was, get this, folks, it was October 14th on Sunday. That was Sunday's date.
Sunday was the date that it says in the calendar?
Sunday was, I'm just... Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Continue, baby. You know I love you.
Yeah, sure. Sunday was October 14th, and approximately when was the first day of fall? Can
September 22nd.
22nd?
Think
so also 3 weeks into fall, and it was 21 degrees Fahrenheit in Denver, and it felt like 11, and it had snowed Saturday and Sunday, and we got to our car. First of all, I don't mean to be ungrateful or anything like that, but in my opinion, when you park at the airport and they have those shuttles, they should drop you off by the shuttle stops, because that's how you know which one is closest to your car. But sometimes the shuttle drivers try to
especially late at night.
When you can't see and it's really cold and people might be driving like really tired or whatever. But sometimes the shuttle drivers ask you approximately what row and number you're in, or what section and then what row. But if you tell them that and they drop you off there, they might drop you off even further than the stop. So we told our shuttle driver where we parked, and I mean, I don't know if I'm exaggerating or if this sounds right, but I would say he dropped us off at least 4 times further from our car than where the shuttle was. The shuttle stop. Or 5.
4 times, yeah.
Like, we were in, what were we, C? And he dropped us off. We were in C almost by D, and he dropped us off in A. So we had to walk through almost 3 full sections to get to our car. And it felt like 11 degrees, and we were wearing, I was wearing leggings and a sweatshirt.
I was smart enough to bring a North Face, even though I hated that on the flight because it was really hot. But
and it was pitch black and also icy a little bit. So
icy a little bit.
Icy a lot.
I had to scrape off. It took me
I meant the ground, walking to our car.
Like, I don't know, 15 to 20 minutes just scraping off all the ice on the back and the front. But, that's the one benefit they say is that the snow melts away really quickly. So the next day it was actually all gone off my car and your car because it was covered when we got back. But it was basically gone.
By Monday afternoon, it was totally gone.
Yeah. But so I was out there, didn't have gloves on, which is something I need to invest in out here. So it keeps my hand warm, and also they don't get as dry, which they have been. But You can check out, well, if you follow Marta on Instagram, you can see the story of her nice and toasty in the car.
It's not, baby. Stories are only posted for 24 hours.
I know, that's why I said if you follow Marta, you would have would have saw.
I thought you were saying, like, you can still see, but sorry, folks. It was very exclusive content, and it's now gone forever.
I think you can go and back
Actually, yeah,
your
it's not gone
stories
forever.
if you want to put it back out.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, that seems like more work than it needs to be. So it's just a video of ice on the car, and then me scrubbing away as you sit toasty in our new SUV. What?
Nothing.
It was nice and toasty.
I think that was the first time you mentioned a new SUV.
Yeah, I don't need to talk about it.
Yeah.
I got a new car. Woo! All-wheel drive, because you sort of need it out here
for the
when it snows and you go to the mountain, which means this upcoming week, Arapahoe Basin, or Arapahoe, as the locals call it. They're so wrong. It's definitely not Arapahoe. Come on, people. But that apparently opens this Friday or Saturday?
They open on Friday, in 2 days from now.
We're thinking about going skiing, but we keep thinking if it's the first day of the weekend where it's open, it's probably going to be packed like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too.
But if we wanted to go, we can plan to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning like we do during normal weekdays. Except for this weekday because of coming back late at night, bringing it all the way back to Sunday. When we got back, we basically got here and ready for bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning, then went to work the next day. Basically, when that happens, I'm like kind of useless at work. Like for the first maybe 3 hours, I can like concentrate. But then after that, I'm like, my brain is just like fried, kind of. Got that fried feeling. I'm not really thinking properly.
I got that fried feeling inside my bones.
Yeah. And then Tuesday, I feel like I just felt way more sick. I feel like I caught a cold, basically, from Lehigh. And then also my stomach was real hurting because I keep remembering that I'm not too good with dairy, but I ended up eating a quesadilla for lunch. So it wasn't the smartest move on my part.
Made by yours truly. And whenever I make anything where you add cheese at your own discretion, I add double what probably should be in there, which makes it extra cheesy and delicious.
Yeah, but then it doesn't feel good for my stomach afterwards if I end up eating your cheesy concoction.
I don't know. My stomach was fine.
Just because your stomach's fine doesn't mean my stomach's going to be fine. You know, we're two different people, baby. Our bodies aren't exactly the same.
I thought when you get married, you just morph into this one weird human. This one codependent.
No, that's what happens when you have a baby.
You morph into one person?
Our chemistry, our DNA morphs into one.
Oh. I thought you were trying to say, like, when we have a baby, we, like, morph with the baby. I'm like, not really. That's the whole point of the baby being a separate person.
How did we get on this morphing topic? Where's this come from?
You literally just said the word morphing. Or did I say first? Oh, I don't know.
Well, roll it back, folks. Just go back if you want to listen to this
just keep
quality conversation.
Always
again.
Look forward, never look back.
Oh, that's so motivational.
Thank you. I think I could be pretty motivational.
You think?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh, we finally, because I know we were talking about it last episode where we're going to record some videos of us making some apple cider. We realized we did not have the tripod that we thought we had, so we had to order a new one, and now it finally came in. Hallelujah. We can now record.
Yes, very exciting.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Although it feels weird because this fall has felt like winter's already here, especially with the snow and cold.
Winter's here.
Snow and cold lately, and then ski resorts opening. I don't think I've ever skied in my life in October, let alone even thought about skiing yet, because usually on the East Coast, some of the more local resorts in Maryland will open December, usually depending on the weather and how cold it is, but definitely not October. And then even some of the other big resorts around here, like Breckenridge and Vail, open early to mid-November, which is exciting. I'm pumped. Very pumped.
What is today? Today's Wednesday. Oh, this sort of goes in with I was just looking because one of our quality HAWT listeners suggested something about it being a recurrence thing when we record, stating what national holiday it is, because there's national holidays every day now, and apparently today is National Pasta Day.
Wow.
Fun fact, not that we eat pasta anymore.
That reminds me, though. So we went to Italy for a honeymoon, which the other day, or maybe it was this morning, I caught myself, but I almost said, this makes no sense. I almost said, oh, last year on this time we were in Italy. No. It wasn't last year. It was in June.
It's around our anniversary, baby.
It was barely 5 months ago. I have no idea.
It just feels so long ago.
I just feel like after leading up to the wedding was like really exciting, but also stressful because it's a huge event and a lot of people are coming into town and everything. And I feel like after that, the honeymoon is like super chill and awesome because it's your first vacation together and you're newlyweds, so you're just extra in love and happy.
And the couple that we saw get married, they're actually in Italy right now.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Hope they're living it up. But anyway, then I feel like after that we moved, so we had all the moving stress, but we haven't had any like big, I'm not saying a big trip has to be 2 weeks, but not even like any crazy relaxing
baby loves
time.
Her chips.
Baby loves her time to relax. I'm always looking for my next tropical trip. Oh, I love Aruba. Yeah, it's just, it's pretty. I like it.
But that relates to pasta because Italy makes great pasta.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was going. Oh, my gosh.
Okay, that's why you have me here, baby. Because if you just ran it yourself, you would go in all different types of ways.
Tomorrow is National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
Oh, I did see that too.
And National Get to Know Your Customers Day, and National No Beard Day, and National Get Smart About Credit Day. Wow. National Get Smart About Credit Day sounds like
quality holiday.
That sounds like something Alan would celebrate.
That sounds like just a holiday made by your parents or something.
Okay, so today is also National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day.
No, that's kind of cute.
Yeah.
We should celebrate that more.
National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day?
Yeah. People should actually follow it.
But we live so far away.
They fly out. Take them to lunch. Do a Skype lunch. We'll Skype them during their lunchtime, and we'll eat together as we stare as sandwiches go into each other's mouths.
But anyway, what I wanted to say about the whole pasta Italy thing was that in Italy we had a lot of really good homemade pasta. So I bought this very important kitchen appliance that has gotten a lot of dust on it. Not a lot of use.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot we had that.
The pasta machine, yeah.
Now you can show people on the YouTubes how to make pasta as well. Just add it to the list of things we want to do.
And I've wanted to make it. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes when you don't have anything forcing you to do something, but it's just like on that lingering to-do list forever, it never gets done. So maybe now that I've mentioned it on a podcast, if someone's thinking, oh, that sounds really cool, then hopefully the thought of even one person being interested in watching a pasta making video.
I'm sure there's people interested in that. I mean, we got an email from a HAWT listener that wanted monthly videos from us about things.
That's true. I can give that to you, Mo. I am protecting the privacy of our listeners by only giving away one syllable of the name. Just like if I were to know your phone number, I would only give one digit, and I wouldn't even tell you where it is in the number. Okay.
Wow.
I feel like that I had a lot on my mind this week, but then I just forget in the moment because we have things that we definitely want to cover, like weekends and any highlights and all of that. But then there's other things that I know I want to cover, but it slips my mind. It's unfortunate.
Maybe you should, when those ideas pop in your head,
write them down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You always got the ideas of flowing. And I'm just here as a soundboard for you.
That's not true. We're soundboards for each other, I think.
You have anything else you want to share with the HAWT listeners, the people? I'm trying to rack my brain of things that I want to get across. Oh, Netflix shows.
Oh, good call.
Yeah, because of our flight to Baltimore, we just downloaded some episodes of some shows on Netflix and started watching it. Did you want me to go first, or do you want to go first?
You can go first.
So, I guess we'll go with the heavy one and then go back to the lighthearted, which is normally your shows. So, the show that I actually got into, I think, was one of my favorite Netflix shows ever, I could say.
Wow, folks.
Because I'm into this sort of, this genre. It's kind of like suspenseful, mysterious, a little creepy a little bit. But it's called Mindhunters, and it's basically set in the 70s, I think, when they were first learning about serial killers. And it sort of follows these FBI agents who are on the brink of starting to learn about these sequence killers, which is what they called them initially. So they're sort of working with a professor at the University of Boston trying to figure out how do we get across these ideas to local police departments and people in general so they understand the terminology and everything that they're saying, because this was such a new phenomenon to them, and such a random occurrence of things happening where sometimes, I guess, in that day people were killing but for no motive whatsoever, and that was sort of baffling. So that this is just the first season started with them, and they go around and interview these psycho people, and they analyze it, and then they also analyze what they're saying, and then they also sometimes solve crimes in these towns that they go to. And that it also shows the stresses that takes place on their lives because they're really into figuring out this new branch of research, so to speak. And so you can see the strain that it causes on their family relationships, or the relationships that they have with a girlfriend or wife or son, so to speak. And I think it's a really good show. I think it's one of my favorites on Netflix. So if you're into that type of stuff, it's a little graphic, just FYI. It's TVMA, so I mean, it's about serial killers, so what do you kind of expect? So just be on the lookout if you're into that type of stuff. Check it out. But if not, Marta has a great suggestion for you.
Yep, if you're not into that, I don't blame you. If you are, that's cool too. Either way, everyone's got their own flavor that they're interested in. But the show I'm interested in is called Heart of Dixie, which is an American comedy series. And according to Google, because I'm lazy and I don't like paraphrasing myself because then I start rambling, New York doctor Zoe Hart, played by actress Rachel Bilson, has reached a crossroads in her life when she decides, yes?
I have a question.
What's up?
People listen to the show to get your feedback, not what Google says.
Oh. Oh, folks, I'm going to need to recover from that horrible stab right in the
I'm
back.
just saying is, like, people are listening and they want to hear your genuine experiences watching it and your thoughts and things. I mean, I could have read off Google, but that doesn't give you my opinion about it.
It gives you my reading skills, which are pretty advanced for
top
20
notch.
20
you say
some
above 8th grade level.
You could say that, and I would agree. Anyway, so essentially, New York doctor Zoe Hart reaches a fork in her life. Crossroads is really a better choice of words, but I can't copy Google. So anyway, this doctor is trying to become a certain type of surgeon, but unfortunately, when she's trying to pursue that, there's a little bit of a hiccup because she's not as friendly with patients. So the general doctor, or like the main doctor at the place where she's doing her residency, I don't know, all the doctor terms are a little fuzzy to me, but the place where she's currently working, the doctor's like, no, in order to apply for this particular fellowship in the field that you're interested in, you need to take a year off and work as a general practitioner. So then she goes off to the South to work at a stranger's practice in Alabama, who offers for her to come work at the practice, and it's in a very small town. So she starts getting to know the town and the people and turns out the stranger actually left her half of his practice. Yeah. Did you not know that yet? You knew that.
Yeah.
It's in like the first few episodes.
I thought you were going to give away something.
No, I'm looking off Google to see what Google says is okay. It's how much can I really reveal. But anyway, so she owns half the practice now, and she's trying to adjust to being in a very hospitable town, but she's from New York, so she's very like go, 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 and focused on very achievement-oriented versus trying to be more personable. But I really like it because I like her as a character. I think she's relatable because she's put in a situation where she feels uncomfortable and not used to the environment. And I feel like regardless of where we are in our life, we always experience that at least some point, whether at work or with friends or even with family, if they start like asking you uncomfortable questions. So I like the character. And she's really quirky and goofy, so I like that. And I don't really like the super gory doctor scenes, like when she's grabbing the stitches and all that, and I'm like, ooh, stop it.
What was that?
Ooh, stop it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's cute and funny, and there's, like any comedy, there's some little tidbits of like romance and not really triangles, but maybe it gets to triangles.
I can already tell from the little bit that I watched, I feel like a love triangle is eventually going to happen.
You and I are so different. Like when I watch a show, I suspend all, whatever they call it, disbelief, and I just watch to watch. I don't think about the future. It's like my normal self is just turned off. I don't, no analytical skills and not trying to predict anything. I'm just watching dumbfounded. And then when you watch, you're like, oh, I bet them two end up together, and this is her father and their brothers, and this. I'm like, but I'm just trying to enjoy it. But you just analyze everything.
That's why I don't talk as much when it's a show that you like. I don't want to suggest anything.
Yeah, don't ruin it. But I think within the first few episodes, there were quite a few twists that I wasn't expecting. So then I told you, and then when we watched a few episodes together, you were like, oh, yeah, I saw that coming. I was like, how did you see that coming? How? I don't know. I'm curious how. I'd be curious to do a poll of how people watch shows and what percentage of people on average are like you and try to figure everything out, even though it's not a mystery. Like if you're watching a mystery, I get it. You're trying to figure out what's happening. If you're watching a comedy, don't try to figure out the whole plot 5 minutes into the 76 episode show.
That was the main reason I like Crazy Rich Asians, is just the fact that it wasn't
obvious.
Yeah,
that one was full of
it was all
turns.
Twists and turns, and sort of threw out the generic tropes. Or they did the tropes, but in different ways. It's things you're not expecting, I could say.
Yeah.
But they didn't do like the same beat for beat that you sort of see
in rom-coms.
Where it's like and a lot of times rom-coms you go, I know we talk more about Crazy Rich Asians, but there's an episode of that where we discuss it when we first see it. Forget which episode, but you can go back and look. But a lot of rom-coms is like just a very simple roller coaster where it goes up and up and up and up, and then it drops down. Like that's like the low point of where someone's, how they're feeling, and then whoever the hero is, the guy or the girl, always makes a play at the end and wins that person over 9 times out of 10. But this is like a roller coaster where it's like up and down and up and down and up and down. Not quite sure what was going to happen. But yeah, that's another tidbit from about Crazy Rich Asians, which you should go see if you haven't. Another recommendation. It's not on Netflix yet.
Good movie. Anything else we wanted to talk about?
I think that's it. We've been
Good
at
episode.
it for 53 minutes.
Wow, we're only 5 hours short of a user. Wow, I've been thinking about work too much. A listener suggestion of a 6-hour podcast. So if you're also interested in a 6-hour podcast,
oh my goodness,
either email us that you're interested, and give us some topics that you would be interested in listening to a 6-hour discussion on, because I don't know I could talk for 6 hours straight on one thing.
Oh, I also wanted to mention that since we were a little late with releasing this episode, we also wanted to do like a special one. So we're going to answer some more goofy questions that a listener submitted.
Look out for bonus! Woohoo!
Get the bonus episode. that we'll be releasing just as a thank you for being patient with us. And we
Yes.
appreciate all of you listeners.
Thanks, everyone. Yeah, wrap it up.
All right, y'all. Remember, you can find us basically anywhere on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, everywhere you can find a podcast app. Please share us with your friends and family. I'm sure they'll enjoy our beautiful podcast and hear our chemistry come through to your ear holes. Your ears.
Not ear holes.
Yeah. But if you're on iTunes, please scroll down, hit 5 stars. That's the only rating I think you can give now. It's only 5 stars. Please leave us 5 stars and write us a review, comment, concern, anything. I'll be grateful. Well, we would be grateful, not you. We would be. But yeah, you can follow us on Twitter at HAWTPod, Facebook.com/HAWTPod. And you can find our website, hawtpod.podbean.com. That's about it. Remember, we love the fact that you listen to us. Have a good day. You'll be hearing from us soon.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.